It's Victoria, and this is Veritas Tarot Pisces. I'm going to be doing a reading for you today about pivotal moments. But just before I start, I just wanted to say I'm so pleased to be back now doing these readings for you on YouTube. I have been away for a little while, settling into my new home and spending very precious time with family, something I needed to do for me. But I am now here in my garden room, which has been built for me by a very wonderful friend, and this is my space for doing readings, and the energy is just it's very special. So I'm looking forward to doing many more readings for you going forward. So Pisces, as I said, I'm going to be looking at doing a pivotal moment reading for you for where you're at a space where you can't decide, or you're not quite sure which way to turn, which way to move forward. If this reading resonates with you, I would be very grateful if you would comment, like, share, or subscribe, or all of them. And if it doesn't resonate, my darling, it simply means it was not for you at this time. There'll always be a reading out there for you at exactly the right time that you need to hear it, as guided by spirit. So what I'm going to be doing is using just the major arcana from my Golden Age Nouveau Tarot, first of all, and then I'll move on to a lovely deck I've got called the Affirmators Tarot, which is very sort of touchy feeling, I particularly love this deck at the moment. And then I'm going to be pulling at the end some Sacred Traveler Oracle cards for you to see where you are. So this is for Pisces, for those that most need to hear it. And immediately what we've got, which has flown out for you, is the High Priestess here. So the High Priestess, my darling, is about that intuition, that psychic, that hidden knowledge that we all have within us. We just have to stop and observe and listen. And this card is particularly important for you at this time because it's asking you to stand back and observe what is happening in your life at this time. What is it that you are choosing to see, or you're choosing not to see? You see, it's about making a decision, and it's about making a decision for your happiness, because now we have the Sun card on the bottom of the deck. It's about making a decision for your happiness and trusting your intuition. And we can all talk about intuition and what that means. To listen to your intuition is to be silent. Listen and silent is the same thing. So it's about trusting the feelings that you're receiving, not the thoughts that you're receiving, lest they're a higher thought, that clarity of thought that comes through, not the sort of monkey brain thoughts that go whirring around and around, but in the silence, when you give yourself that moment to pause, to observe, to reflect, that is when the wisdom of your soul can come through, because our souls are a piece of divinity. That is divine source energy within us. And when we allow our soul to step forward and speak, it resonates, because we can hear with utter clarity what our soul is saying to us. So there is a decision that you are needing to make for your greatest good, for your happiness. Now, the seeds of that decision, the sun helps things grow, and the seeds of that decision are going to come through for you, but you need nurturing and growth and healing at the time. And, seeds get planted in the darkness, but they grow in the darkness. So if you're feeling that you're going through a very dark period of your life, trust that it is for that nurturing and growth and shift and change and evolution that you need. Don't let your conscious thoughts, that we all have those negative thoughts, those monkey brain thoughts that go round and round, so things that we tell ourselves about ourselves and others, don't let that block what your soul, your intuition, your knowing is very much trying to help you, to help you. So let's look a little bit more about this. Let's look a little bit more into the High Priestess here and the Sun card. There is with this card, the High Priestess, before I move on, there is the Torah, which is divine law. So whatever has happened here has been divine intervention. And divine law also talks about that cause and effect, and it talks about what goes around comes around as well. So I don't know if that means anything to anybody, because I don't normally say that with the High Priestess card, but it's also talking about a new cycle that's coming in for you to as you go through this nurturing and this growth and this healing process. This is the healing process with the Sun card from the inside. So it's to look to yourself to heal, because through looking to yourself to heal yourself, you are going to stand empowered. You're going to stand very empowered. And the Sun card with this as well this is the card of renewal. This is the card of enlightenment for you. And let me just pull this up for you again. The white horse here is the card of clarity. So there will be clarity that's coming in for you. I'm now seeing the Lover's card underneath that. So there has been a choice here, or things have happened, or maybe there's more than one person in this situation that you're in, but you are being guided to move forward, trusting in where your feelings are taking you. Where your feelings are taking you, my darling, not where your mind is taking you to. So let's put a little bit more information on these two cards with my Affirmators Tarot. And let's see. Sorry, just want to point out another thing here. You see the sunflowers here? It's a reminder that there are soul family around you. There are people that are coming into your life at exactly the right time to help you with this pivotal moment, or they're already there. But do turn to others for help. You heal yourself from the inside, but it's not to say that you haven't been sent people to help you with that process. So let's have a look here now. Can you tell me more? Thank you for the High Priestess and the Sun card, please, for Pisces in relation to this reading. Thank you. Well, that is lovely. You have the Fool card flew out for you. So the Fool card here, as we know, and this is a particularly gorgeous card here. I'm sort of seeing here the pink flamingo. This is about your confidence and self-belief in yourself. This is about the start of that new cycle that was talked about here with the High Priestess card is here. Now, you know, the Fool card can be about naivety. It can be about sort of taking head in the clouds, that sort of thing. But I don't see this here. With this flamingo, flamingos are so beautiful. And flamingos kind of, when they fly, you kind of feel like, how can they possibly fly, these great big birds? But then they fly and it's amazing. So it's about that, even if you feel that you can't take that leap of faith at the moment, even if you feel you're not quite ready for that next cycle. And that's why that High Priestess card is there, about trusting in that feeling that you're getting. Keep moving forward. You know, one here we are, you've got here, little one step at a time. You have the guidance of spirit around you. You have untapped knowledge within you, and you have but just to ask. So I hope that makes sense for somebody. Let's also keep moving forward and see what other cards come out for you. Thank you, Spirit, for the High Priestess and the Sun card and the Fool. So you've had three. I know I pulled Major Arcanas, but wow. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful cards. I'm going to pull them in the order that they have come out in. So I just want to show you, first of all, you've got the High Priestess, again, double confirmation. You've got the Devil card here. You've got the Ace of Wands, and you have the Page of Cups. So, okay, let's just talk about this. The two High Priestesses, first of all, and the Devil card. So again, you've got this High Priestess here. Look at that wink on her face. That is so lovely. That's your knowing. That's you coming into this space of knowing and of understanding what it is that this pivotal moment is for you. I think there is a feeling of relief and a feeling of release that's come in for you. you've definitely got this wonderful news cycle coming in. You've got some tricks up your sleeve as well. You've got some things that you're sort of slightly impressing yourself with as well, but you've got some things are happening for you at exactly the right time, and you seem to be able to magically kind of handle things better than you thought you were going to be able to handle them. This is the antler, you know, this is the deer, whatever the antlers. So this is dealing with this from your feminine power, my darling, dealing with it from your feminine empathic side. Again, going back to your intuition. Observe, observe, observe. You're going through that night and day process, that yin and that yang process, but just like the seasons, everything has a natural rhythm and a natural flow to it. And I think you're beginning to understand that nothing has, what's coming to you as clarity is that nothing has any meaning except for the meaning that you give it. So when we are in a pivotal moment and a choice in our life, and with the Lovers card here, maybe you've gone through a situation that has involved deep hurt, deep choices because of another, because of a relationship that you've had. The trauma of that, even the trauma of that, is caused by the meaning and the resistance that you've placed upon it, we place upon it, about what did or what did not occur. I hope that makes sense, because the moment we assign somebody or something the role of our joy, we also, in that moment, assign them the role of our suffering as well. So I think that's coming to you now, and that's a message for somebody in particular there, or if this is resonating with many of you, it's, you know, to understand that the meaning we place on things, we give it meaning. And if we feel that something is caused by a meaning that we put on it, a perspective we put on something that we placed on it, we are choosing to give it that meaning. So, and the reason I'm saying this is because what you've also got here, you've got the Devil card here. Now, for me, because you've got the Ace of Wands and the Page of Cups here, and the Page of Cups is about an apology. This could be about somebody else in your life, in the choices here with the Lovers, but it could also be about your self-doubt, yourself, because the Devil is about that. Self-doubt, it's about procrastination. It can also be a bit of a distraction. So if you have choices to trust and love here, or you have choices in love, just be careful that you're not looking at the next big shiny thing. Be careful that this is not a repetition of either what you have had in the past or a similar thing, because if you are being distracted by the next big shiny thing, you might be, if you're chasing after the next big shiny thing, you might be repeating the same cycle if you haven't learned the lessons. But I'm feeling you have. You've got 2 High Priestesses here. So for me, it's keep on the path that you're on, this High Priestess path. Keep on that path. Don't be pulled away from it with a temptation to do or say things. Thank you, Spirit. To do or say things that keep you out of the space, this beautiful energy space that you've come into, this healing space that you've come to. Don't be tempted to do a word for a word, or an act for an act, or anything like that. You remain in this space of healing, this space of growth. That's where you're being told and shown to remain. So don't get tempted to do things that for that moment make your pain body feel a little bit better. That's not going to help those seeds grow in the long run. There is a transformational time at the moment here with the Devil here card and the High Priestess. You know, the devil has the ability to strike suddenly out of the blue. And so with that High Priestess card there alongside of that, what that is saying to me is, this is where, don't give that meaning. Look at the meaning you're giving this Devil card. Look at the meaning that you've assigned it to. Was this Devil card the source of your joy and your happiness? And now you've assigned it the source of your suffering. you can change that perspective by bringing it back to you are the most important person in your life. The love you give yourself is the most important love you can give, because when you come to that wonderful place of grounding and self-love, then the love you give others is only beneficial to them and to yourself, because you are giving love from an overflowing cup and you're not needing it back. That was a message again for somebody else. So with the devil card here, you've got this transformational, you've got this snake here. So it's about you having a direct perspective of what is happening here, whether this is the devil card about your self-doubt and your procrastination and about you chasing the next big thing. Have a direct perspective of it. Trust your intuition. Is it giving you red flags? Does this seem very similar to something else you might have done in the past? Or is this somebody else whose soul has stepped in and helped you shift and grow? Because every revolution, interesting, every soul, every relationship is for the evolution of our soul. And there is, what I quite like, and Spirit's just shown me, is your antlers are, zigzagging their way up to heaven, up to the universe, and the devils are pointing downwards, curled around within themselves. So just keep listening, keep observing everything that's happening around you for you at this time, because you've got this Ace of Wands, and this Ace of Wands is always a divine gift from the universe, from God, from whatever you want to call it. And there is again a new cycle coming in. Now you've got the bunny rabbit here, or the hare. So that for me talks about observing. Don't face your fears, observe, and take that leap. Take that leap when you feel it's the right time. Whatever it is, this new cycle is, whatever opportunity, it's something that you already feel a passion for, something that you're already creating, but it's a gift given to you at exactly the right time. And that's what the Ace is about, is it'll come in for you at the right time. And I said at the same time, so maybe at the same time that is coming in, you've got a Page of Cups. Now, pages for me are always about messages, okay? They're about transitional messages that may help people move from one shift in energy to another, or from something physical, from something to something else. But they are a transitional message. And for me, this Page of Cups this is the lobster. So I feel this is an apology. And with the lobster, it's going to make somebody very uncomfortable to step forward and give this apology, because lobsters only grow when they're forced to grow out of their shell. It's very uncomfortable, makes them very uncomfortable, and then they have to break out of the shell in order to grow. So whoever it is going to come forward with an apology. But there will be a little red flag here for me, because they are looking to paint a picture that they want you to hear. So just be aware of that. They will speak from the heart. They will speak from the heart. They are, I feel like this lobster's got his head bandaged. So that for me is saying that, the thoughts are very painful for them about whatever this is. But they do want to paint some form of picture. And I'm going to look a little bit more into that Page of Cups and see what it is for you. Okay, so these two cards just wanted to stay behind. We've got the Emperor here. Okay, so we've got the Emperor and we've got the King of Swords, and neither of them look particularly happy, do they? So the Emperor, first of all, is somebody who, so this is the divine masculine side of us, but the Emperor coming out here with this Page of Cups for me is somebody who, see, the Emperor is it's not a warning, but it's a warning. It's a reminder that that person can be a bit of a bull in a china shop, can sort of rush forward and do or say things without thinking about the thought of the impact that it's having on other people. So it's sort of trampling over people's emotions. So I think this is, it's a sort of, how do I describe this? A sort of blinkered down, charge ahead energy, and wanting to make things happen, but doing it in the wrong way. So that's just a little word of not warning for you, but to understand that if this is an apology coming through for you, just be aware that they for their own good, they might just do things and step on people's toes along the way, or they might step on your toe along the way as well, because you've got this King of Swords here, and this King of Swords to me is the gorilla. So this King of Swords, so swords are about clarity. They're also about the conflict within us as well, and the King of Swords is about being. So what I'm feeling with this is whoever this person is wants to come charging in because they have been made to feel very uncomfortable about something. They have got clarity about things, but do you see how they've got the sword crossed over their heart? They're not wishing to speak their truth or expose who they are, but they have got clarity. And whatever this period of time is for them, it is a transformational time, because you've got the butterflies in the background. So whatever it is you are doing, my darling, you keep doing, because you had 2 High Priestess cards come out, and you've had the Sun, which is talking about these extraordinary seeds of growth, a lot of inner child healing that you're doing as well. And you've had the Fool card too, that's come out for you. And then this little Page of Cups has, this Devil card has come out, and this King of Swords as well. So let's just pull one more card for you. Oh, there we go. They just keep doing this for me. They keep leaving the one behind that I meant to show you. So one more card about this King of Swords. You've got here the Two of Swords. Okay, and the Two of Swords is about decisions, making decisions. But for me, I was thinking about the King of Swords at the time, and the King of Swords and the Two of Swords makes 3 swords. So that is whatever heartbreak has happened. So I come back to that comment that I said before. The moment we assign somebody else as our source of joy, we instantaneously assign them as our source of unhappiness. So the more healing that you are doing now on yourself, the more that you are coming to that understanding that you are the source of your own happiness, and that that's the soul piece within you, that is divine source energy. And the more you believe that and trust that, the more empowering it is, and the more you're able to release somebody else or something else as the source of anything for you. You're not giving your power away, because you found that within yourself, and that's where that High Priestess cards come out twice for you. So this King of Swords has a block with the Two of Swords. They're not wanting to face things that they don't want to see. Again, though, this is either an alligator or a crocodile. And what I like to see with that is that again, because it's a land and a water-based animal, it's transitional. So this period of time that they are in this Two of Swords, in this King of Swords space, is exactly where they need to be, because we only learn from our experiences, but actually we only really learn from observing those experiences. Otherwise, repeat them over and over. So wherever they are now, they are needing to be, whatever experiences are happening for them, are happening in order to help them shift their perspective, shed their skin like a snake as well. That's why it appeared in that Devil card too. And so see their situation as something that is necessary for them in order for their soul to try and evolve, to try and remember. And you keep doing what you are doing, my darling. and you've walked away. These cards were very funny. This is just now popped. You walked away. You walked away from this. And you've kept very quiet. You haven't spoken a great deal about it. You have felt your way around this situation. You felt the way around the situation. You've understood that it was for your happiness, however hard it was to do. And with that, you've allowed whatever's meant to come in for you to come in for you as it's coming in now. I think you're starting to see things. Sorry, I've got my fan on and my hair keeps blowing all over the place. And you've been doing healing as well. There's a lot of healing that you've been doing. Okay, so let's have a look, my darling, at let's have a look at the Sacred Traveler card for you. Thank you. Okay, so of course you've got this on the bottom of the deck. You've got transformation. A fresh new way of living emerges. Do you know, for me, immediately what I'm getting with this card is, I mean, this is the falcon or the eagle, and I'll come on to that in a second, but that bird, it's freedom. That's what I'm feeling with this card. A sense of freedom, a sense of relief, a sense of thinking, I didn't think I could get past that hurt. I didn't think I could get through that, but I think you have. There is a fresh new way of living emerges. You've put down, you've released a lot of, you've let go of a lot of what you were thought you wanted and needed in your life, and you've let go of it. And you've realized with that, this sense of freedom, this sense of relief, that that person or that thing does not have the power over you that it used to have. So therefore, that's why that phrase I said at the beginning is so beautiful, that you used to give it this meaning. You know, nothing has any meaning except for the meaning and the importance you put on it. And you have now removed your attention, your attachment. And because this is the eagle, I'm saying this as the eagle or the falcon, but it's the same thing, that these are the birds that fly closest to heaven. So these are the messages. This is your higher self messages that have come through when you're in that sense of relief, when you're in that place of peace. And the only bird that attacks this bird is the crow, but the eagle doesn't respond. The eagle flies higher and higher and higher and higher until literally expanding, rising all the time, growing and healing. That is the metaphor for it. And the crow falls away because it can't breathe. It can't stay in that space that the eagle is in. So this brings me back to the devil card. Whatever temptations you have to just be a little bit naughty, or just, you know, be tempted by doing something you know is not really for your greatest good, don't do it. Rise away, rise above, away from whatever energies. And it's saying here, begin now, take your first step. And along the way, you'll have everything you need. And you've got the chickens there as well. I know it feels like you're leaving somewhere that's been a place of comfort, a home, something that means a great deal for you. But you have everything you need in abundance along the way. And it's about you choosing your path. All is possible, and you're seeing it. You see, when you look at things from your higher self up above, you see how things look, the path looks clear. And you see there is also a river, so it's that going with the flow as well, finding that natural path as you're going now, observing what's coming in for you at the right time for you along that way as well. And when you meander, you know, when you're the tortoise rather than the hare, when you meander, you don't miss all these lovely adjacent possibilities and opportunities that come in for you. Because when we're focused on one course of action, we tend to be blinkered and we tend to ignore what's meant to be also coming in for us. And look at this, at the end of that, there is that sun, and there are the gates of triumph, and it says success expands in your life. And I believe that's because, and again, I'm now seeing this one other card here, it's because this journey where you've released the meaning, the source of your joy from somebody else or something else, and and assigned that to yourself rather than somebody else. This journey is teaching you that self-love and that self-respect, and it's teaching you that you do deserve all those things that you're creating in your life, that you wish to come into your life. And now is a time for you to start trusting in that, trusting in yourself and trusting in your capabilities, your abilities, your forward thinking, your belief system, because it is very strong, but I think it's been thrown a little bit. You've got here discovering truth. You stand in the light of truth. And what this is saying to me is, you've got the sheep here, and you've got people going one way to, a town, to somewhere that's immediate, giving a source of comfort, etc. But you're turning the other way. You're very happy. You've got your little backpack on. That's all you need. And you are deciding not to follow the crowd. And when we go through these journeys and we start to see things differently, and we start to observe things, and we start to have a very different perspective on things, it can mean that we do lose the crowd. People around us, as we shift and change energetically, they fall away from us a little bit because they don't understand that energy space that we're in, and that's okay, because sometimes you to go it alone. When you go it alone, you then realize just how extremely powerful you are, how amazing you are, how you only ever really need to rely on yourself. So you stand in the light of truth, and that truth is that change of thinking that you've had from an old way to a new way, that's giving you the confidence and the happiness to strive forward and do what it is that you're meant to do. So my darling, I hope that helped and resonated with whoever was guided to click on the button and see this reading. I will be doing more readings for you in August, but in the meantime, take care. Bye-bye, darling.